And today we are popping out the Minecraft gameplay for a Minecraft story time. So, it all kind of started in reception, which is kind of young. I know that. And what happened was this girl came up to me and gave me a smoochy on the cheeky. In the middle of hide and seek tig, and I was right next to my best friend. I mean, like, at the time I didn't know what it meant, but that's kind of like when it started. And we're gonna call her Jane. Why not? We're gonna call her Jane. Those people who know me in real life will know who this story is about. But for now, we're just gonna call her Jane. Alright? So, Jane was like, I'm not even gonna lie here. She was a pretty small, blonde-haired, as I thought, nice. But that kinda all changed when she cheated on me. Because, you know, like, you never actually think someone's nice after they've just, like, cheated on you. So then, I was so scared to ask her out that was this thing, because it got to year 3 now, and I was full on just scared for my life when she came near me. Like, I want to say that I acted all, like, tough and all that, like, yeah, I'm awesome. And I wasn't worried about a thing. But in real life, whenever she came up to me, I'd run. I would run. That's how, like, scared I was of rejection. So then, I don't know what my friend was thinking, but they obviously weren't thinking very well. Because I told them a secret. Well, actually, I'll call them by their YouTube name because I have a YouTube channel. But I told them the secret, and at the time the secret was that I liked that girl. And XDS Excalibur, great friend, he could not keep a secret. He went up to everyone and just went, "Hey, did you know that Shockwave likes..." I forgot what I named her. Let's just rename her as Julia. I was thinking like June or Julia, and then I was like, wait, June's a month, not a name. But it can be a name actually. If your name is June, I'm sorry if I offended you with that sentence. But yeah, so like so, that happens, and I am scared for my mind that she's just gonna come up to me and slap me like they did in the movies. And like, I didn't want to be around anyone. Super scared of her. And then it comes to like the disco when I actually went up to her and I didn't go up to her, I made a bet with my friend, like, right, you ask your crush out and I'll ask my crush out. So then we do that, and he asked his crush, and his crush actually said no, and I felt so bad for him. And my crush, Julia, said yes. And so the whole plan was to slow dance when the slow dancing song came on. But just hear me out. But the worst thing that happened was I was too scared to dance. That was the worst thing. I was way too scared to move. I was like, she said, yeah, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna like dance wrong? Because if you guys don't know me, I can't dance. So if you actually ever meet me in real life, don't expect me to start dancing, because I am not good at it. So, yeah. It turned up at the end that I didn't actually dance at all with her. I was just too scared, and I just stayed with my friend who got rejected. Because now still, the guy in the story, my friend, actually my best friend. This isn't like anything important, but in year 2 we'd go around like singing everywhere together. If Zaxi, if you can hear me out there, I'm talking about you, mate. And if you guys know Zaxi very well and me, well then you'll know who Zaxi asked out and got rejected by. So yeah, it's like the end of the disco, and like I know you guys are gonna call me mean, but I completely forgot she was at the disco. So I was like just having the time of my life until your boy finds out that the person he has to dance with is not dancing with another man. That was just to build tension. But the thing that did weird me out is that when it came to the slow dance song, she was dancing with her best friend. Like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I just dance by myself because I'm a loner, but I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. It's just, at the time, it was just kind of weird, you know? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I expected her to come up to me and say, hey, do you want to dance? Yeah, she didn't. So yeah, the end of the night happens, and I'm there, like, completely forgot about having the time of my life with my best friend, because at the end of our discos, I'm not sure if this happened with you guys, but we had to sit still and just listen to the teacher for a solid minute or something like that, and it was so boring. So after we had to sit and listen with the teacher, we just kind of got on, you know, just like didn't really care. We kind of just got on with our day, letting our parents pick us up. And since my mum actually works at that school, I ended up just coming with my mum, who's like had to clean up, and Jaxie, whose mum also works with my mum. We hung about in like the hall, again having the time of our lives. And after that, we tend to just like mess about with like paper airplanes that we made in my mum's classroom for some strange reason. And so we do that, or kinda, he does that. Making paper airplanes was never actually one of my talents. So it's just kinda not me to make a paper airplane. So didn't really do them with my friends. I have learnt how to make a paper airplane now. I don't. So yeah. And then it finally occurs to me that I forgot to ask her to dance. Like, that part of it was just like basically the only interesting part about it. Like that interesting part about year 3. So then let's move on to year 4 now, when I actually have the courage to say, hey, if I tell you a secret, can you keep it? And she goes, yeah, sure. And my secret was, I have a crush on you, and that's what I said. And then she says, I know. Yeah. Don't forget, this is in year 4, well after the disco. So I completely forgot that I danced with her. Well, I didn't even dance with her, I completely forgot I asked her to dance. I mean, I didn't even do that, I just did it before the disco. I asked her, hey, do you want to dance at the disco? And she was like, yeah, sure. And then I just, like, didn't get around to it. So yeah, completely and utterly, I'm disappointed in myself for even asking. Because, like, what happens in the future, just, I wouldn't have wanted to dance with her at this point. But then after that, I realised that she's hanging out with 2 other boys as well. Not spectacle. Well, I was spectacle, but like I didn't want to point it out in case I was completely. And she'd break up with me for being like superstitious. And then it turns out I was correct. She said, she grabbed us all together, me, my best friend, and my other best friend. Like, this is like, in primary school as well, like year 4 and stuff like that. I'm not sure what it's called in like America. And then, so yeah, that happens. And my heart is broken. So, yeah. I'm like, what the hell? But since I, like, really liked her, but I didn't know what really liking someone was, I just kind of, like, stuck with it. I mean, like, yeah, sure, nothing bad about that. When it actually turns out that now that I'm older, I understand what that is, and that is just, it could be called as taking advantage, or cheating, as I like to call it, because it is. She cheated on all 3 of us with all 3 of us. And that was the worst part. And they both have YouTube channels, so I can call them. So Kai123, go subscribe to him, and Phoenix Boy. Which I don't care if you subscribe to. But Kai123, you have to. So, yep. That kinda happened, and I was really annoyed. But I didn't want to get into an argument with any of them, because they were like my best friends. So, like, I had 3 best friends then, and they were like 2 of them. Like, as I said, Zaxi. Like, my man, been my best friend since day 1. So, yeah. We're all, like, super jealous of each other. For some strange reason. And, since we're all, like, jealous of each other, it just kind of ruins the friendship. Which I wasn't happy about, and that's, like, when I started a bit. Because, like, everyone kept on wanting us to get into fights. Like, proper fist fights. And, I just, no, because I'm not that type of person. I just said no constantly, and I knew that me and my friends wouldn't fight each other. And that was until I hit a tennis ball the wrong way in PE, because I'm not that good at tennis. And Phoenix Boy, this is why I don't care if you subscribe to it or not. He full on just comes up to me and strangles me because he was my partner. He pins me against the wall and actually lifts me up and strangles me because I hit the tennis ball the wrong way around. And then we get called over, and I'm in trouble for being strangled. What the hell's up with that, teacher? I'm in trouble for being strangled. So I'm super mad at the substitute PE teacher for that. So, like, I didn't really want to say, because I know that, like, I would have just probably gotten a detention. But, I was really annoyed. Like, you're not going to give him a detention for strangling me. Instead, you're going to shout at me for being pinned up against the wall, not being able to touch the floor. Like, that really, really made me cross. So I just didn't cooperate with him for the rest of the lesson because he was so horrible. I never wanted to be around him again. But, like friendships do, we became back friends, which was one of the worst decisions of my life. To tell him I can't talk right now. Alright, I told them, but it turns out that a couple weeks later, wait, what was I up to? Skip to year 5 now. It turns out a couple weeks later, not Patrick, mind you, he's already done a name reveal, but Kyle has as well. So Kyle broke up with her because he just didn't like it, and I don't blame him. So then Patrick then later on breaks up with her. So I'm super pleased. I'm like, yes, last boy standing. And then she comes over to me and says, "You are always my favourite." Gives me a huge hug. So that made me feel good too. And then it turns out that Patrick and Kyle both told me that they both were told that, and were both told not to tell anyone else, which I was also told. So I was like, nah, you guys are lying, you just want me to break up with her because you're jealous. Like, so yeah. No one was kind of happy with me for saying that, and now that I look back on it, I was being super selfish, and a personal apology to Kyle and Patrick for that. So then we come to the time where I keep on having enough of these stories, and I'm just saying, like, yeah, I get it, please stop. And they don't stop until I just, like, kind of dodged them for a bit. I just didn't talk to them. Like, I was fed up because I thought it was all nonsense and they were just jealous. And I just gave up on talking to them. And kind of went on with my daily routine. So, then it comes up just a couple months later. Patrick comes up to me and says, "Oh yeah, you know me and Martha, yeah, breaking up, yeah, it was all just a prank, we're back together now." And I am stunned, absolutely stunned. I'm like, no, you don't prank that. You were, like, gone for like 3 months. I was having the time of my life. I had a girlfriend just to myself instead of being cheated on. And then I just walk off and go in a corner and cry. Not even gonna lie, I went into a corner and cried. So then it comes to the day before my birthday, and I say, alright, Julia, we're breaking up. And she looks at me and goes, haha, funny prank. And I just went, it's not a prank, it's the best birthday gift ever. Thank you. We're breaking up. And she looks at me stunned, and I'm like, why are you looking all stunned? You seriously just dated my best friend after breaking up? And then she says, I didn't, I said okay. No. You don't just say, like, if someone has to date you, that's a yes, no question. You don't say okay. And if you do say okay, well, that's just not right. That's just not okay. So, that was, like, basically just it. Go subscribe to Jaxie, because, believe it or not, Jaxie's girlfriend is actually the story time who this is, so go subscribe to Jaxie. And I really hope this doesn't happen to Jaxie, because Jaxie's a legend, so yeah, also, like, that's another reason to him. So go subscribe to Jaxie. And this video was requested by someone who I forgot the name of, but I do remember their Xbox name. Rabbit Demon, then a couple numbers. I gave them a shout out just a couple weeks ago, so yeah. That's the end of today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed the story time on the time that I got cheated with 2 other boys. This is Shockwave out.